Number
Gotcha.
3,
Okay.
Columbine. Number 2, 9/11.
Okay. Hell
Especially the jumpers. What rabbit holes you been down lately?
Let's see.
Go ahead and start this episode off something crazy.
Well, let's see. I don't think, you're going to have to come along for the ride in more ways than
I'll
one,
take you
dude.
for one if you take me for one.
But I think Paul Walker's alive.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
This is crazy. Is he going to come out at the end of Fast and Furious Part 11?
I'm just, no, man.
He's gone.
No, he's gone from
Okay.
public.
Well, I don't like this.
Yeah,
you
no.
got me excited. I thought
Well, man, I just
Brian O'Connor was coming back.
Nah, I just think that, look, there's pretty good evidence to support that we, I never saw a body. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't think Anthony Bourdain's dead.
Oh, Tony's dead, buddy.
No.
Tony died.
I
man.
think he was swapped out with his
with
corpse
a
was
CIA
swapped
op,
out.
dude.
I think he's the whole thing was tampered with. I think it was doctored.
I think he baked his last ziti, dude. I think it's over.
How's this, dude?
I
Here's
like
one for
Tony.
you.
Love him.
Why is there only one company in the world that makes ice rink machines, dude?
I don't think we have enough ice rinks to.
Zamboni's got all bases covered, dude.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
that
so,
could
man.
be.
I think there's mafia ties.
Well, why don't you go ahead?
A name like Zamboni?
Why don't you go ahead and open one up and see how much business you get?
There's
you know?
mafia ties to the Zamboni, and they rough you up if you try to make your own ice rink.
Some guy shows
smoothing
up
machine.
that looks like Vito.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, you want to go?
You were cleaning your own ice. We don't like that out here.
I got tickets to the Yankees tonight. I think you should come with me."
He said, no. My nephew, he cleans the ice in this neighborhood. What else, dude? What else you have going on?
I was thinking last night about a top 3. Just a top 3 of anything.
Do some top 3s
Yeah,
for the
and
people. We're back, baby.
And I was
We're
like,
doing list.
yeah, we're doing Joe List tonight. So my top 3,
Yeah, you don't
my
have
top
sex
3
with you?
lists. My top 3 in I was thinking about like the most morbid sense.
Okay.
Like 3 morbid things that just always draw me in that I
Morbid Angel.
No.
Morbid Curiosities.
This is a list of morbid curiosities, yes. Can I give them?
What's the list of?
This is a 3-part list of morbid curiosities of events that still draw me in that I catch myself reading about.
These are your top 3 morbid events.
Yeah.
Your top 3.
Yeah.
Columbines, if you will.
And that's on the list.
And it's on the list.
On the
Of
list.
course it's on the
It's coming
list.
in at number
Jason
3.
Winkler.
Yeah, Jason Winkler. It's coming in at number 3.
Coming in at number 3, Columbine.
Number
Gotcha.
3,
Okay.
Columbine. Number 2, 9/11.
Okay. Hell
Especially the jumpers.
Okay.
Not that I like to watch the videos of jumpers, but just the whole.
We've got a jumper.
That's crazy. I wish you would step out from that ledge, my friend. No, so like 9/11 in general really is peak morbid curiosity for me.
Hell
like
yeah.
I really.
No, dude, I've said it once.
It
and I'll
makes
say
me
it again.
sick. It makes me so fucking
People
sad.
love 9/11.
Yeah, but I don't love it though. I hate it.
Everybody loves 9/11.
I never want to forget.
Exactly. People love it from a either from like a historical standpoint or
I
like
think
a
I need
morbid
to be. I think I need to be
curiosity.
medicated. Like I'll catch myself listening to the 911 calls, and I'm sobbing, and I'm sobbing, dude.
Dude, it's not your fault,
It
man.
makes me so fucking sad, bro. Like,
Okay, real quick side
I
tangent.
gotta get to number 1, but go
The
off.
fucking algorithms. They want us.
Oh no, it's not an algorithm. I follow
No,
a different view every
I
day
know,
on
dude,
Instagram.
I know, but I'm just telling. Listen, the up and downs.
Boy, let's start this episode over.
It's no longer like, hey man, we got to make everybody angry. It's let's feed them a bunch of up and downs, dude. They
Right.
want you angry for a second, but then laughing for a second, and then crying for a second. I get dude. My algorithm is so fucked up because dude, once every couple hours,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll watch a couple sad videos real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then
Yeah.
I'll cry.
Yeah, it's not a when I
People
say this.
used to not cry, but like twice their whole lives.
Yeah, I cry every day.
I know.
It's not a disrespect thing. It's not me poking fun at the issue. Like, these are just really 3 things that really, like, got me and really bother me.
9/11.
Columbine, 9/11, and number 1 is the frozen corpses on Mount Everest. No, not I thought at first. I thought at first, and then I really got into it, and like now I'm looking at like these pictures where they've mapped out. Yeah. It's mapped out. You've got green boots, and you've got like that's one, and then like you know, like, but like
I've gone
there was
down that rabbit hole, and I've gone from to O back to because ultimately,
and it's fine. I'm still in the O. I might get to the I'm just saying right now. It's number 1 on my list because that's where I'm at.
It's not a complete
No,
I get it.
It's fucking crazy.
It's tragic and sad in a lot of ways, but ultimately, what you're looking at is a bunch of rich people who didn't follow Sherpa's instructions.
No. Yeah, I'm not
every
saying
one of those people. There's a backstory about how they did something they weren't.
And that's fine.
Still sad,
but like I what got me into it was the dude. I forget his name now, which really devalues what I'm talking about because I had his name.
Your life.
He didn't change shit. I'm just saying there was one that really got me hooked.
He got you into it, and it's your favorite thing. It's your favorite morbid curiosity.
He was
frozen corpses on Mount Everest.
No, he's a frozen corpse. Well, they didn't find him, so he was a snowboarder. He's a professional snowboarder.
He was gonna snowboard.
He did. He snowboarded down Mount Everest. And then a couple years later, he come back. I think it was snow. I don't think it was ski. I think it was snowboard. He come back a couple years later and did it again on a different peak.
Damn.
And disappeared.
Died to death.
And you can only assume that he fell in a crevasse.
And that is sad.
Yeah.
I think anybody... Look, dude,
your
rich
levels
people are not...
Your levels are testing real low.
Yeah, it's going to be
okay?
like that.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm going to have to jack
No, yeah, the
mine
rich
up.
people aspect of it is whatever.
No, even that, even if they're rich, doesn't matter to me. I think it's cool. If you're going out and just trying to have fun, do something crazy and badass, and you die, that is sad, man. That is sad. I'm just saying...
I think it's sad the Sherpas that die.
And it, to me,
taking a rich person up on the fucking mountain.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
I think there's a lot more... My is there's so much... The people that don't die are also, like, way more interesting a lot of times. And I'm not even talking about the expeditioners. You've got all these, like, very famous people who have scaled Mount Everest and all this shit. But ultimately...
Darby did it.
Yeah. But ultimately, there's thousands upon thousands of no-name Sherpas over the generations who climb that thing 50 fucking times a year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're not in the record books.
Yeah, where's their recognition, you know what I mean?
It's like they just be doing that type of shit. But also, I found out in my adult life that the Guinness Book of World Records isn't really a super legit record-keeping organization.
No.
They really, like, you can pay. They will come check a record within their capabilities. Like, if they know the last guy jumped 10 feet, they'll come see you jump 11 feet. But ultimately, you pay for that. You pay, it's like 10 grand. And as long as you, like, really do it, you're guaranteed to get in there and get a little plaque and all that stuff. But you can also make shit up. Like, I watched this YouTube video about the guy who owns the right to that viral oof sound. Like I think it's from Minecraft. Oof! Oof! It's from, like, an old video of some shit. The guy, like, made it. He also has made a bunch of video game music. And he's got, like, 10 of these. And they're all for, like, really niche shit that they don't give out world records in. Like, he's, like, the first person to be nominated for a Music Choice Award for a video game soundtrack in North America. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's got an award for that. There's just, like, stuff you can pay for to get in there. I think it should just straight up all be Sherpas. The whole book should be
all the Sherpas that have been lost in Everest or have survived Everest.
And what about all the people who just, like, seafaring peoples, man? who just like have always been sailing the seven seas, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're always out there. Like Annie Lennox, you know?
Well, dude, what about the, who is that? I don't even know who that is.
Somebody out there will get it.
Well, let me get it. Tell me.
No, you got to figure it out. Annie Lennox sung for the Eurythmics.
And
Travel
she's
the
in
world and the
ocean?
seven seas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's reel it back in, dude. I'm just saying, those are things that pique my morbid curiosity. But 9/11 really bothers me. It's like, what would you do if you were in that situation? Like, imagine 9/11. Imagine you were in either tower and you were above the impact.
Or on one of the planes.
Or on one of the planes. What do you think's scarier? What do you think's scarier? Being on the plane that's about to hit, being above the impact zone, or being a jumper? Or being somebody that was below the impact zone, but you can't get out because of the smoke or the floor's falling through. Like, what do you think's scary?
I think the jumper is like the worst because you know they're being faced with fire on their backs.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it's like burn up or jump. And that's like just a crazy thing to have to think about. Then you've got the hijackers. You've got Flight 93 who tried to fight back. There's a lot of options. Let me give you my top 3, dude. Number 1, 9/11.
Edna Centrin was her name. Edna was she was 9/11. She died in 9/11. There was a video of her
jumping.
No, she didn't jump. Where the impact was, she was there, hanging off the side, waving. She's the waver, and she waved She held on all the way until the building fell. And she's in the video when the second tower collapses.
Dudesons did that. The Dudesons.
I know.
Remember
the
that?
Dudesons. Yeah, the timer's up.
He
It's been
died.
15
He didn't
minutes.
die. He got hurt in that, I think.
So what's your top 3? You got 9/11, dead air. Yeah, man, do the thing. They know what we're all about here, dude. Oh shit, that is I'm resetting it.
9/11, the Hindenburg.
Hindenburg was choice.
Hindenburg
was choice.
And shit, dude. Probably the sinking of the Lusitania.
Okay, hear me out. This episode rules already. I'm having a good time.
I'm loving this.
I'm like a whole cup of black coffee in, dude. I'm primed, dude.
Because I'm loving it, brother.
Hit them with a Papa John, dude. It's the day of reckoning. Why is it that... Why is the Titanic such a big deal, you think? Why do people still give a fuck about the Titanic?
Yeah, well, they made a lot of... Because people think, it's because they made the movie in the 90s. They made, 5 movies about the Titanic.
Yeah,
over
that
the
one just hit.
That
one.
And they also made a movie about the real-life sister ship of the Titanic that sunk on its side and capsized, the Britannic.
But I think about the dudes who owned the Watergate, Ocean Gate.
That would have been the most terrifying. Did you see the recent video they've released of the wife of the owner? She's like
I hope this is a bit, dude.
No, I swear to God.
That sucks.
She runs controls up on top and is like listening to the audio. They've released a video where she hears the implosion and she's just like,
that's it.
What was that?
Yeah.
And then goes to the computer and then it cuts off.
That's
crazy.
Like,
the moment
I feel bad for the kid. He didn't want to be there.
I know we can all look. I'm always going to shit on billionaires and rich people.
I have a little bit
ones
of empathy for just humans dying. I don't like it.
I always have empathy.
I don't like it.
I'm gonna keep making fun of it.
Yeah, but I do feel
scumbags.
bad for the kid though, because he really didn't want to go. His dad made him go, and that sucks. That's ass.
Terrifying.
But for me though, if I'm a billionaire,
no father figure is getting me into a submersible.
No, dude.
I don't care if fucking
that's operated with a PlayStation controller.
Unless Jesus Christ
a knockoff
himself
one at
is in
that.
there with me.
Yeah,
he's like, we're gonna walk out of this.
Oh, and he was, dude.
You know
and he was.
at a time. At the very end there.
Here's my thing. What makes if you're a billionaire and you've got all that money, I just think I can think of 100 cooler ways to not only spend it, but to also die.
Yeah.
Because who the fuck cares? But it's like, who cares about the fucking Titanic though? Like, if they were just wanting to go check out the fucking Marianas Trench and
Well,
died,
because
I wouldn't have thought a thing of it. I'd been like, oh wow. I probably would have cared more.
I think the Titanic.
They trying to get some fucking gold spoons, dude.
No,
They trying to get some forks.
The Titanic is very much it's similar to like the Lusitania and a couple of other things because of all the conspiracy theories that have surrounded it, and all just like the various like interesting things and people
but what are they
that
really
happen to be
gonna
on
find?
board. Well, people that go to the wreckage, it's not to find treasure or anything anymore. You can sell new footage of the Titanic for like thousands of dollars to like people who make movies and documentaries and shit. That's all you go down there for. You see it yourself. It's like a cool giant ship that's not far out, you know what I mean? Like they've found it, they can get to it. It's in, you know, the middle of the Atlantic, but it's not the Pacific. It's not in the Marianas Trench. It's any shipwreck is like a place they go explore.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I
the
get it to an
Titanic is
extent,
like-
but it just seems overplayed.
There's a
to
lot of
me.
history there. But there is a lot of weird shit with the Titanic. The most legitimately interesting thing about the Titanic is the fact that H.G. Wells wrote a book years prior about a ship called the Titan that was hailed as unsinkable, that was setting sail from Europe to the Americas, that hit an iceberg, split in half, and sank in the exact same fucking way. And reality went down the exact same way as the fiction. You know what I mean? That's what makes
Does
it
that make you think like, does that make you think maybe, I'm not saying it's a simulation. I'm not saying that. Do you think maybe there's like I don't know, man. Do you think there's some type of, we're just talking about the earth in general, man. Do you think there's some type of, magic here, man? You think there's some type of, I'm not saying it's all written and it's all going to happen.
I think people see something like the Death Star and they say, hey, we should build a Death Star. I think
give it time.
Inspired by that book. They said, oh, dude, we should build this ship.
And that
exactly
makes sense,
like the one
man.
that sank in this book.
I should name my kid Elon, dude, and send him to Mars.
Yeah, exactly, dude. But also, yes, I do think there's some sort of a, I don't know if you want to call it magic. I don't know if there's some sort of like an Akashic record, a universal consciousness, a fucking field of quantum entanglement. But
time is a flat
shit.
circle, man.
Yeah, man, bizarre shit happens. Got a bunch of drugs lodged in my spine. I have what the doctor calls daylight hallucinations. I see things that aren't there, but I know they're not there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wish you'd stop saying weird shit. We're going to make the couch a place of silent reflection. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's, I don't know, just weird shit, like, in general, will pique my interest. And sometimes I'll go down just random rabbit holes on, like, Instagram, or just, like, I'll watch Reels, and I'll see a video of something crazy, and then, you know, the autism kicks in. I have to know. I have to hyperfixate. I got to find everything about it. And sometimes it's about shit that I don't want to know. Like, I don't want to know all the shit I know about, especially morbid curiosity.
What about the dude who
stuff.
was in Hiroshima? Was like, that was crazy. Drove down the street to Nagasaki and then got blown up a second time the next day.
Yeah.
Survived both. What about the fact that Lincoln's son unknowingly saved John Wilkes Booth's son from, you know, he fell on a train track with an oncoming train.
Yeah.
Or all the weird JFK, Lincoln,
Cheryl, there's a bomb in the car, Cheryl. It's gonna melt your fucking face, Cheryl.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there are so many bizarre coincidences out there. And I'm not saying I don't believe in coincidence.
No,
I do.
there is a lot of weird shit that goes down,
but
man.
quantum entanglement is real, right?
Quantum
so two particles,
entanglement,
right?
yes.
Two particles have coexisted at one point in time. They can share a relationship forever. So if, like, weird relationships between people and events happen, 100,000 years from now, we might have a scientific grasp of why. You know what I mean?
Do you think? Does it bother you that we're living in the time we're living in, and not in the future, to see the Earth become this crazy utopia that's like a Gundam fucking anime?
Will
or
be
like
a utopia or a dystopia? Who knows?
I like
dystopia.
I like to think that we correct the ship and it becomes a utopia.
I'd like to think that too. I think there's going to be
It's like we
some
talked on the
more,
last episode about like the 40-60.
It's gonna be a decent little bit
You
of
know?
night before the day, but I think the day do be coming.
Yeah, I think that eventually we'll get it right. I like to hope so, at least.
Oh, I got hope for humanity, man.
Because I want to live in that. Like I want to live in that fucking year 2100 right
but
now.
Also,
this
man,
me, you know,
I do consider myself
or the
like,
year 3000 or whatever.
to live now.
Oh, I would never want to. If there's any time period that's happened before right now, I would not want to live in it.
And I think that's what people.
I'm not
50
trying
years
to.
from now-
I'm not trying to live in any kind of no modern medicine,
Yeah.
no toilet paper.
Well, dude, there's gonna be kids who are like, could you imagine existing before they cured every disease?
Yeah.
Can you imagine existing.
Imagine living in a time where there's no Benadryl, there's no ass wipe, there's no fucking
Bro,
hot
there's
showers,
no
bro. Like there's no.
heroin.
Yeah, there's no opium. There's no opium, dude.
Well, that'd be around, I guess. I guess variations have been around.
Yeah, I mean, there's been marijuanas too.
I
I'm
do
just
take
saying, like,
solace knowing that if I accidentally got transported to 1500s China, I'd have no problems getting high off my ass.
yeah,
I do
you'd be
take
able to get high, but
solace
it's
in
like,
that.
imagine I'm living in a world where I can't get a McDouble and a pack of cigs, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and if I get sick, I can go to the doctor.
Well, dude, it's also just cool
With my
to be able
insurance,
to
it
like.
sucks, you
We've
know?
seen more of the world in our 30 some odd years than most people saw in 2 lifetimes. Dude.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
I
it
agree.
used to take, if you wanted to go from here to California, it took 6 months, and you had to let half your kids die, dude.
Yeah.
That's what it took.
Of the dysentery.
That's it. If you wanted to go to Europe, you had to get on a boat made of wood, dog, and powered by the wind,
Yeah, that's
and
insane.
just fucking set sail. You didn't have a Doppler radar. You didn't know if there was
Not
gonna
a
be a storm.
There could have been a bow echo.
You don't even. There
There
could be
could have
a
been a cold front.
El Nino.
Could have been.
Could have been a big Sandy. You know what I mean?
Rolling through the party like my name was El Nino.
I'm hanging out, drinking in the back of El Caminos.
Yeah, dude.
But
yeah, crazy.
dude, exactly.
A time without like good secular music.
Without a lot of art in general, man.
Yeah.
Movies, you used to have like
Yeah,
there'd be like a
fuck
play
every
a year,
Fuck every other time.
and it would be like, what if a wood nymph impregnated the queen? You know what I mean?
We would have been great jesters in our time.
But you know what, dude? What if this is the sweet spot? What if we're in the sweet spot?
What if it doesn't
and
get any
all
better than
goes to
this?
hell?
That's like I said on the one episode. The scariest thing to me is knowing that we are the most intelligent life out there.
Yeah.
And
this
nothing
is
else
as
has
good as
gotten
it
paid.
gets.
Yeah.
And we do destroy ourselves. And then nothing else ever happens in the entire universe.
That's crazy.
The universe instantly becomes stagnant, and it's just quiet.
Well, you know what they say, man. A lot of people that don't understand automatically revert to, well, God did it.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of people that would hear what we just said and think, well,
That's
God-
dumb. They're talking out their ass.
God made this.
And
so.
maybe he
he did. That's fine.
if
Or they
God
did.
did
God's
make it,
probably a
right?
woman, if we're being honest.
If God made it,
Giver of life,
it
that's
could
clearly a
be
woman.
more complicated than we could even imagine. It could be even crazier.
Yeah, I
If
don't
God
think they
made
would
it,
shove it all in a book this big.
It could be, he could make
You
the
know.
rules whatever he wanted. We could be in a marble, like in Men in Black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could be a fucking daydream that a turtle's having. You know?
Just give me a kaiju before it ends, dude.
No. Why do you want the worst stuff?
I want to see a
You're
big
just like those
fucking
people
just.
that want a zombie apocalypse.
No, don't ever put me in that category
It's
of
the
that.
same. You
That's
want the world
zombie
to end.
apocalypse people are up there with fucking flat earthers, dude. Don't put me in that. Kaiju people, we're different. We're different.
You're the
dude.
only one
We're-
who's weird.
we're
Nobody else
we're
is hoping that a gigantic
we're-
radioactive monster destroys their city in their life.
Yo, I'm just saying. I would much rather be dealt with the
I was
consequences
really
and the actions of
disappointed
a
that when we went to
kaiju.
New York, the Cloverfield monster didn't fucking up in the subway. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying that's more my speed. That's more my cup
I
of tea,
mean,
dude.
I don't think it's crazy to think that we end up living in a Pacific Rim style scenario.
That's fine
dude,
too.
where
I
a
don't. I
wormhole
want a
opens
mecha.
up.
I want a kaiju. I want something big.
I
Fuck
just
zombies,
don't think,
dude. Zombies
ultimately,
suck.
I don't think like human mech suits are
of any use.
Practical.
They're probably
when
not.
you can just blast warheads from 1,000,000 miles away. Why do you need to fucking put a person
Well, maybe
in a
maybe
giant
we go
robot?
back to a civilized time, dude. You know?
Where everybody's got a robot and you just make them fight each other instead of going to war.
Yeah, won't you? Hey, man, let me tell you what.
Hold up, brother.
That right there,
Hold
that's
up.
so good. That is so good. We could not only have world peace, but we could end the fucking show on that note.
Dude, you're gonna put your military might,
Yeah.
your science
Yeah.
might, your fucking
Yes.
agility.
Yes.
You're gonna put all of that to the test
In a
by
robot.
building a nation robot.
Yep.
Dude. You're gonna have a
And
whole
any-
industry around building this.
yes,
bitch.
and it's going to cause jobs. It's going to generate money for the countries. And then if you have a conflict, instead of having all of these casualties, instead of having all this bullshit, a Gaza, if you will.
Yeah, your robot fights my
Imagine Israel sent their Mecca over to Palestine to fight their Mecca.
That sounds as unfair as what's happening now, dude.
It doesn't. It doesn't. That's crazy. You're right. Maybe I'm a piece of shit.
Let's not forget that their massive terrorist attack was done on hang gliders.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Bad
Hang gliders
analogy.
got through the Iron Dome.
Bad analogy. Bad
no, not terrible though. Because if it
I'm
really
just
is,
saying.
no, hold up. If it's a utopian future,
Yes.
then ideally everybody has
Yes.
at least the capability
of
to
building
make the
one.
best
Yes.
robot they
Yes.
can.
I'm just saying. Wouldn't it
I
be
agree.
better than Israel going and slaughtering children in the streets, dude? Wouldn't it be
Yes.
better if just two people?
Couple of robes.
And they don't even have to have people in the robots.
No, they could be drones.
They could be drone bots, and they
We've
could
got
fight
the technology.
and we do. I just don't. I've talked about this a lot on the show since we've started the show, and I just don't think that it's that far out of the realm of possibility. I think our Mecca would look stupid. I think we would make I would probably like another country's
It
Mecca.
would probably have a bandana.
It would probably have something crazy.
It would probably have a bandana made of like really nice aircraft grade
And
aluminum.
honestly, it would probably be pretty cool looking, dude.
We
Somebody
would probably have.
spray paint a number 3 on it and roll.
It would be exactly like how you would imagine it would be. Like the American one would be this huge fucking bulky fucking, and then the Asians would have a super sleek fucking fast one.
Yeah.
The fucking Middle East would have one that like fucking can burrow underground like a sandworm, dude. And South America will have like one that spins. I don't know. Everybody's will have like their own cultural flair to it too, man.
America's would definitely just have sponsors all over it.
And then you
it
know
would have
what'll happen?
Prime and fucking, you know what I mean? It'll have a giant Prime on the chest. And then, like, all up and down the legs, it would have, like, fucking Goodyear. It'd look like a NASCAR, bro.
It would never work, because Elon would be like, well, I think I should have my own robot.
Oh, no, it would work because it would be a Tesla robot. He would make the robot.
We'd force him to.
But it would also have cheddars on the forearm.
Yeah.
It would have cheddars on the forearm. It would have a Fuddruckers.
Mobile One.
A big McDonald's M. Like, ours would be covered. It would look like us with traditional tattoos, but it would be sponsors of the worst shit, dude.
It could be cool, man. It could be a real
I'm glad we did
changer,
this, dude.
man.
This really pepped me up.
Did that?
And it did. I was waiting on you. I didn't want to
keep talking.
I was just trying to be casual about it. But yeah, I just don't think that's, I don't think it's that far out of the realm of possibility, and I think it saves a lot of people's lives, a lot of casualties, a lot of, it's a fair a duel. And if it's two countries going at each other for a territory, winner take all for, say, 10 years. And then in 10 years, you get a rematch.
Yeah. And then you know what happens
if it's a big conflict like, say, America and Russia, they just meet out in the ocean, dude, and they just really duke it out, brother.
Ideally, there's some sort of a fucking external threat, and then everybody's like, we have to combine our robots.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
And form a Megazord.
Yeah, dude.
And fight the alien
The United
Zord.
Kingdom fucking mecha comes out and the Union Jack, dude.
Hell yeah,
and then
dude.
fucking Elon fires up the Brickyard 400 robot,
fucking
bro.
Xi Jinping fucking sends a bullet train up the fucking leg, brother.
Yeah,
Come
dude.
on.
I'm telling you, dude.
Are you guys in world peace? Or do you want it or not?
Just give us the goddamn robots, man.
I'm the type of dude that believes everybody can have everything they want without any negative consequences. Am I naive, or is everybody else just fucking small-minded?
Yeah, I mean, I've taken a day, and I mean, my first day is from 6 to 12, okay?
Yeah, my second day is
It's
from 12 to 12:01.
Yeah,
dude.
now I've taken the day, and I've cut it into 4, and I'm
Just put that up over a week and
I'm smoking you, dude.
Yeah, put that over a month, I'm kicking your butt. Over 10 years, there's no question. You're a fucking idiot, and I'm not.
Do you, and I'm interviewing you today, buddy. Do you think, like when I see those types of videos, I see that type of shit, whether it's a street preacher or a fucking, like, do you think these people really buy into it, or do you think they're just doing it for the money?
I think it's half and half.
They probably believe it to an extent, and then they see the income, and they're like, "Oh, we can do this."
Like a true huckster, a true charlatan, never believes their lie. They're an absolute real.
And it's the vernacular that you throw
I mean?
out. The charlatans, dude.
A huckster.
Ain't that a basketball team, dude? What the fuck's wrong with you, bro?
You know what a charlatan is?
Go ahead, man. I have to
like a snake oil salesman.
Oh,
dude.
yes.
Like those guys, these dudes who like sold magic potions, the OG con men, they never believe the lie. They're selling kayfabe.
You don't want to say the word on the air.
What
you don't
word?
want to say gypsy.
No, dude. This is unrelated to what they do.
Oh.
Okay, they're in.
So I'm racist.
They do trinkets. They sell potions and that sort of stuff. All right, what I'm talking about is your 3-card money dealer.
That really is an offensive word.
Gypsy is an offensive word now.
You're going to get us taken off.
Well, the Irish of them are cool with it, and the Romani
Tyson Fury
are
is
not.
literally the Gypsy King. That's his nickname. He don't give a fuck, dude.
But he's not Romani or Irish, is he?
He's from the UK.
Isn't he English?
Yeah, he's English, yeah.
That's not Irish.
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean his family's not.
He might be.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I don't know either.
His
I don't know
history.
enough, but
I thought that's what you were getting at.
Either way,
I thought that's what you were describing.
In no way was I trying to beat around the bush towards Jibs. I'm making a point that, to answer your question,
it's okay.
50% are those type of people, like snake oil salesmen, that don't buy into it. They're just selling kayfabe. The other half,
a charlatan.
You've met a dude who just likes to lie and he believes his lies, and he's like will defend his lie like it's the truth. You know what I mean? We know a few of those types of individuals.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those dudes, like I think that guy talking about I've cut my day up into 12 days. He knows he's
a charlatan bargain. You know
okay,
what I mean?
but then you've got guys like your Jordan Peterson we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
He saw a fucking a pivot business opportunity and he took it, but I also think he drank his own Kool-Aid and also believes
he looks like he drank his own piss.
He looks like he drank
He's
somebody's
fucking
piss,
insane
dude.
looking, dude. He's an insane looking individual.
All I'm saying is I know scumbags that were able to get off Xanax without going to Russia and getting their blood cleaned out. You know what I mean? It's not, it's doable.
Yeah, it's doable.
It's doable,
It's
dude.
doable, dude.
I'm not saying if I was rich, I wouldn't go to Russia and get my blood cleaned out rather than go through the worst detox of my life.
Man, I don't want to ever go to Russia, ever, dude.
I wouldn't mind going to the European side, like Eastern Europe side, where Moscow and shit is. I would check it out in the summer months.
Yeah,
but
it
over
just
in the
seems
Asian
cold
side
there,
where
man.
it's super cold, hell no.
It just seems scary, bro. Like, I see those prisons and shit they got, and like...
Honestly, it's not on my list.
No.
There's literal, like, I would go to, like, Afghanistan.
And you want to go see the elephant's foot?
In Chernobyl. That's in Ukraine.
I thought that was in Russia.
Chernobyl's in Ukraine. It was one of the first places that Russia invaded when they moved into Ukraine. I thought... I had conspiracy theories flaring up when it was like 2 a.m. and it was like breaking news. Russian forces have taken the Chernobyl area of Ukraine, which is like, empty mostly. You
ever read about the wolves of Chernobyl, dude?
I had a Chernobyl phase. That's why I'm so on like most of the morbid shit is because I've gone through all of it already. But I still love it. I'm still a morbid guy. The only thing that I'm like I can't get into at all anymore is just like classic serial killer fetishization.
No, yeah, I don't either.
I like the conspiracy theorizing. I like the psychological analyzing. Like, what was that show they did with a couple years back? Criminal
Mindhunter.
I
loved Mindhunter.
Something like that. I loved.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
I
I'm not
could
a
listen
big,
to
like,
a
true crime podcast. Type of guy.
I could listen to a true crime podcast if it's like just based on one isolated incident, like a cold case type.
Yeah, that's the exact sort of stuff that I'm burnt out on.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, me, like, I'm not, because I don't do it. Like, I don't, like, if I heard one or I listen to one, it's fine, because I haven't went down that whole, like, I don't sit and listen to one of them. There was a podcast that I did listen to for a minute that was just called Serial Killers, and this guy and this gal break down, like, they just go over like, they did one on Jack the Ripper, and they did one on, whoever. Like, and they would just, it's like an hour long, and they just,
do a few of them. I can get
couple
into one
pinpoints, that's either the town that dreaded sundown, the Texarkana killer. Like, they had one on that. Like,
it all makes me think
fine,
of,
but I don't.
This isn't a bad thing. This is just further exemplifies how much I've seen of it. Just reminds me of watching, like, Unsolved Mysteries.
Man, I love Unsolved Mysteries, though.
ID channel, fucking, all of those, like, murder mystery shows, which I loved growing up. And it's crazy that it's,
I can do Unsolved Mysteries, but only the old ones with Robert Stack.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the
His
new
voice really got me. That's
I
what drew
him
me in.
And, the Fact or Fiction guy.
Hi, welcome back. This
that was
is
on Star
Robert
Trek.
Stack. Yeah.
I
like that meme.
That
it's like when you have a kid and they ask 100 questions. It's just that chopped up video of him like,
have you ever seen a double rainbow?
Yeah.
What would happen if you fell off your bicycle?
Yeah. Yeah. That shit's great. I love that.
I loved that era of creepy shows.
Yeah.
Because, like, Fact or Fiction, Unsolved Mysteries, it would be, like, a couple, like, serial killer type things or, like, murders, but then there would also be, like, a ghost story or, like, a UFO.
I wonder if...
You know what I mean? Supernatural type of shit.
I wonder if 911 was a spinoff of Unsolved Mysteries or if it was vice versa.
Isn't 911 the show with... What's his name on it?
Robert Stack did a show called 911.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, it was the same type. It was the same setup and everything of Unsolved Mysteries, but instead of an unsolved mystery, they would talk about like a crate. Yeah, and Robert Stack would come on, and he would be in like a fucking office. Like, he'd be in like
an era of those.
What's like a dispatch? He'd be like walking through a dispatch. He'd be like,
oh yeah.
Today on 911, we talk about a woman who was trapped in a burning building, like and called 911, and they would like they do a dramatization of it and shit.
Wildest Police Chases, Volume 7.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
Dude, it would be like
that shit was badass.
Primetime host of NBC, and all of a sudden you'd see him like,
yeah,
tonight on NBC, 15 CCTV murders. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing here?
What I always wanted to order when I was a lad is like, so it'd be like 3 a.m, and you get they'd start doing the infomercials, and they would always do the Girls Gone Wild ones, but I always wanted the Wild Street Outlaws DVD.
Oh yeah, dude.
Where they would have like all these dudes, like Fast and Furious had just come out.
Racers,
so they would have all these bros that were
activity.
in their fucking Honda Civics.
That
and
kids
kids
awesome.
are like wrecking and dying on these tapes. Like you knew that like bad shit was going down. But they'd be selling them. $19.99, dude. We'll send you 5 of volume 1 through 5 of Street Outlaws, like whatever.
Bum fights.
Bum fights was wild too.
It came with another movie that was like hot rod racing and shit.
Hell
that
yeah.
was like had wrecks and shit in it.
Yeah,
I remember like
watch
Faces of Death, dude.
Yeah.
Rotten.com.
Yeah, Meat Spin, all that shit.
Just like all the worst possible shit. But
Yeah.
that era of television where it was just like all murder and crime. I guess it's still like that, dude.
I think it's
Shit
even
don't
more
change.
now. It's even more. It's got to be, dude. Everybody's into true crime. And I'm not shitting on it, and I'm not shitting on people that like it. It's fine. I get into it every now and then. I'll get on a kick, but I'm like you, though. I don't like the serial killer fetish shit.
Yeah.
I don't like the glorifying of the shit.
Well,
and I
think
know people say, like, you wear a Zodiac Killer shirt. Like, yeah, I get it. But that's a different, like...
Yeah,
for the art aspect of it,
and
I support
mysteries, like
my friends that make cool shirts,
sociological element of it, but also
And it is interesting. I do like reading about some of the shit. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But it's just like, I remember I crashed out about fucking Gabby Petito. They released that fucking Netflix documentary.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, at some point I was just like, let the fucking girl rest.
I never,
Like, I really feel like we're doing too much here. I watched it live. I watched it real time,
from the start. Never got into it.
Yeah, and I'm
never like, there's so much stuff that just, to me, it just seems like it's my neighbor. I don't want to get into their personal business. Like, I see these like stories about people, and I'm like, not only do I not care, but I don't want to know.
Yeah,
and with that,
I don't
want to
care.
This is a sad young person. I don't want to like dive into their whole fucking history and van life and all this shit.
I don't want to watch.
I hate when that shit gets into the ether, man. And I'm listening to comedy podcasts and they're talking about Gabby Petito.
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, leave this girl alone, dude. Like, that's crazy.
But yeah, and that's why I like horror, is because it's like everything that people like about true crime and serial killer and all that shit that I get. That's why I like horror, because I can get that out of me.
Yeah.
Fictionally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like
have to
that.
think about real people's suffering.
And that could be me as well, why I've always gravitated more to horror.
Yeah, and it's not that I'm a pussy.
Especially horror of the slasher genre. Yeah. That's always been my cup of tea. So.
I've seen people die. I've seen people like beat to a bloody pulp. I've seen some bad shit. I'm not like soft to the world, dude, but at the same time,
I feel like we're hardened to the world, and that's why we're over it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna subject myself to that any more than I need to, and I don't. I've seen enough of it, and also, I'm hardened to the world, but to the point that I'm empathetic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just
and
like
a lot of people lack that. I think
the exploitative nature of true crime. It's like, what isn't exploitative? It is a. I would just hate to be the family member with a dead loved one that sees 500 fucking episodes.
Yeah. That's, that's me, man. I'm like, I don't need to fucking... I think about the families and shit. I don't need to...
Yeah, it's like...
It's a lot.
Especially of like, it's one thing if there's like a case to be solved, you know what I mean? And like, it's a cold case and somebody could call in. But when it's
case closed,
If it's case, exactly, and they're just diving into it a million times, you know, like a lot of the family members of, Ted Bundy or whoever it was when they made that movie spoke out and they're like, why are you guys making him hot?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to not remember, not think of the dude that murdered our uncle as a hot pervert, you know what I mean? Or,
And he was handsome. And Zac Efron.
Is that the one? Ted Bundy?
Yeah. Zac Efron played him. Yeah.
Now, what's the other one? What's the creepier one?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer, yeah. Well, they made a movie of him, too, with Evan Peters, who is hot, but they didn't make him hot in the movie.
Yeah, they did like they did the mini series for that. Yeah.
Was it a mini series?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I
Yeah.
But it's also like we grew up and like watched and read all those books that they had out back then.
Yeah.
The only thing I re-jumped into was when the new book came out on the Manson shit.
Yeah.
That was like, I've read everything about Manson.
I don't like the movies. I would rather like I didn't watch the Dahmer series with Evan Peters, but I watched the Dahmer tapes. And I did watch the one with Zac Efron because I was with a group of people and we watched it all together. But I would have rather watched the Ted Bundy documentary because I don't feel like it's a slap in the face to.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying you can't make a movie that's about. I mean, it's been
facts
and it's been great. Like they've done some great. Zodiac
eye.
Was great. Like they've done some good. Mindhunter did a good job.
Yeah, I don't think with those, diving into the facts around like a public case are exploitative by nature.
No, yeah.
I just think a lot of those cases are. But yeah, dude, I agree. And the Zodiac, the movie itself has a cult following apart from the real life case.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's a great movie. David Fincher knocked it out of the park in that one. I seen they did find the Jack the Ripper.
I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was one of the people that they thought it might have been. Yeah. Now that's another. I From Hell.
with Johnny
with
Depp.
Johnny Depp,
Yeah,
underrated
yeah,
movie,
yeah.
man. I like that. I liked that, and then around the same time, his Sleepy Hollow came out.
Yeah, I
Both
love
of those
Sleepy
were
Hollow,
good.
man. Sleepy
Yeah.
Hollow is great.
Uh,
I like the lore of the Headless Horseman. I always thought that was a cool.
Christopher Walken in that is one of the most
Yeah.
terrifying. You know what I mean? Isn't that him?
The
Isn't he in
dog's tail is missing. Yeah, yeah, it's Christopher Walken. He's the Hessian. That's
Your
what he's called.
dog, his tail is gone.
What happened to
I
it?
don't
I don't care. I don't care. That's so good. Yeah, Christopher Walken. That's crazy that he played the Headless Horseman. He has
Yeah.
no fucking lines in the movie. He's just there with them
And
sharp
he's
ass teeth.
so terrifying looking.
He is, dude. He looks insane. He looks like you when you wake up. Your
Yeah,
hair's all
hair's
fucking
all
wild.
wild.
Yeah, that's what you look like, dude.
About once, probably once every 10 days, I wake up with just like dried blood all up in my mouth.
Yeah.
From where I fucking
Yeah,
grind my teeth.
Yeah, and you.
chew on my
Oh,
jaws.
I thought you were talking about like you were. Never mind. I thought you were doing a bit.
No, so I like wake up.
I thought you'd be like, yeah, I smell like hay, dude. And I've been like, I got mud on my boots, and I've been out just
Crawling
fucking,
out of a tree.
just hacking people up, throwing pumpkins.
I'm just
at
saying,
them,
I
dude.
look like him for real.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
got like a bad.
You
I'm gonna get one of those
do
mouth
you
guards.
grind your teeth like a motherfucker, bro. It
Yeah.
sounds horrible when you sleep, man. It sounds like a hamster wheel, the squeak.
Yeah. That's what.
I mean, I get it because I do the same thing too. Like I'll wake myself up, my jaws will be where I've gone. Sometimes I'll use my mouth guard. A lot of times I forget to put it in at night. But yeah, you do grind hard, man. You're a hard grinder. You like to
I'm
really
a rough
fucking
sleeper, dude.
grind, dude.
Like, dude, I do.
Dude, when you sleep, it sounds painful. Like you don't even sound like you're resting.
Dude,
bro.
I wake up, my neck and jaw hurts. It's not. Dude,
Well, you sleep in the shape of an S, dude, and just grind your fucking teeth. And I look at you while you're sleeping. Like I get up to piss or some shit. I'll look over and I'm like, man, what kind of traumas he got? He don't want
I
to
don't
talk
know,
about, dude.
I don't
Like,
know.
what is hurting him, bro?
My dreams, dude. You would wake up crying sometimes, dude.
I had some like the worst fucking dreams last night. I couldn't sleep worth the fuck, and I don't remember any of them. But they were horrific, and I don't
Yeah.
remember none of them. And I
That's how
woke
a lot
up
of it
all
is.
night last night, dude.
Like
Like
I wake
ugh.
up just panicked, like knowing I
Yeah.
just experienced something bad.
I think it's
but-
probably like because I'm a very anxious dude, anyways, and like I've always struggled with it. But I think it's probably all the shit I just have going on in real life with my personal life, and then
Yeah.
when I sleep, it all comes to the center. But I do that too. Like the week leading up to our big live show, I was like that. I was having nightmares
Nightmares,
every nightmare. Like every night I was having a nightmare. But I think it's just I let maybe I should vent more. Maybe I should talk about it more. I don't know. But
Possibly, it could help. I don't know, dude. I feel like dreams would be weird. You know what I mean?
they do be doing, dude.
Dreams be weird.
They're doing the most, bro.
Yeah.
It's like the wildest shit. Like I'll tell you one later after once we when I had the other night, I'll tell you off the air. But it was insane and just stupid, and I was like, I felt embarrassed when I woke up. I was like,
The
oh,
fact
no.
that we dream at all is pretty crazy, man. They still don't have like a full grasp on why it happens. And you've got like dream experts who will tell you like what everything means, but also I feel like so much of it is like subjective. Like people talk about dream symbolism. A fucking dove might symbolize something different to some different people. You know what I mean?
Well, I've always, in my opinion, I'm not. Don't take any of this like I'm not an expert. I'm not a sleepologist.
I'm not a dream expert.
I'm not a dream catcher. I'm not a sleepologist. I'm not none of that. I'm not a dream warrior. I'm nothing. I'm just saying, to me, it seems like during the day, if I'm bored or I'm working, whatever, like I'm a daydreamer.
Yeah,
I daydream
me
all
too.
the time.
Yeah.
When you daydream when you're awake, it's more of a controlled environment because you are creating the daydreams in your head. And I've always looked at dreams and nightmares as just when you're asleep and your brain's running wild, it's daydreaming while you're asleep.
And I think the more ADD you have, the more ADD your dreams are. Too,
and
my daydreams are ADD.
Yeah, I daydream crazy
what I mean?
shit all the time.
Isn't it awesome having like a really good visual imagination?
Oh yeah, dude.
I watch
love
movies, and dude.
You've heard my story.
Yeah.
The shit I write, like
Yeah.
movies and shit that I want to make. Like you've heard my ideas.
I
You
would
know
sit
what's
in
going on up
prison
in
and,
here.
Replay
Whole movies
my
in your head. I do that to
You know
pass
what I mean?
time at work,
like
dude.
ones that I know, or just like albums and
Yeah,
songs.
absolutely.
And shit, you know what I mean? Just like go through them. Got that kind of a memory for shit like that. Just like, but yeah, I daydream more than fucking anything. I'll catch myself doing it while driving, just thinking, daydreaming.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm 40 miles down the road, don't remember a lick.
You've ass into the car, hit a pedestrian, dude. Fucking.
No, do you ever have that where you're just thinking while you're driving, or you zoned out, and you're
Yeah.
like, fuck, how did I get this far and I don't remember?
Yeah, and I'm like, damn, dude, I
Yeah.
could have killed somebody.
How fast am I going?
Yeah.
What's going on? Have I been in the line?
Yeah, I'm a big daydreamer, man. I'm a dream seller, you know.
Yeah. I dream big, dude.
I think you have to.
You really do.
I think in this day and age, you have to.
people are forgetting how to dream, man. That's the problem.
They
with kids
are.
nowadays.
They are. They're just going with the flow and just following the motion and not, you know. You really got to dream, man. You really got to dream and dream big.
No, I really do be having some crazy nightmares, dude.
Yeah.
And grinding my teeth and shit. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm like, dude, I'll give you an honest assessment. I think I'm pretty scared of dying, right? Like, at this point in my life.
Me too.
Where I've got a lot going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd be like, now it would really be a waste. There was a point in time where I risked death so much. I did so much stupid shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, risky shit, not just the drugs and like actually getting close to dying.
Well, I think that's how we know we're happy.
Young,
you know.
Yeah.
I get because me, you know, like when I'm
healthy fear.
when I'm really depressed, really sad, really anxious, when I've got like when it seems like nothing's going right, you know,
I'll get right on a plane.
I'm like, and I'll do what it does not matter. Like if I'm, you know, in a situation where it's something I wouldn't normally do, if I'm happy, I don't want to do it. I want to stay at home more often when I'm happy than when I'm not.
Yeah.
Like if I'm depressed, it's not so much as going out and like trying to get that serotonin. It's I'm going out because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
If we die on the way to
or
the
you're
show,
trying to get it
we get in a car wreck,
to an
whatever,
extent
dude. Yeah.
Through the do whatever I can do.
Yeah.
But when because I feel like real happiness isn't like joy and excitement.
No.
It's contentment.
Yep.
When I'm fully content and I don't want to leave my house, I've got everything I need.
That's how I know I'm doing all right.
I've talked to my friends that week. I've gone out and seen who I need to see.
I'm like you though. The moment I feel down, I'm like, let's get on a plane, dude.
Yeah.
Let's fly to Vegas. Let's
go back to New York.
I'll do anything to feel alive, and I think I'm like that too, man.
Yeah.
Like I'll get on a plane, I'll get on a train, I'll get in an automobile. I will do whatever. You want to go to a crazy fucking show? You want to go do what? It doesn't matter.
Think about when
Do
you're
you
a
think?
kid
You think if
and
you were
physically all the more crazy shit you did when you were young? And I think I got away with death so much. Like I had so many almost got hit by this car, almost fell off this thing, just fucking around, skateboard, whatever. You come so close that I'm like, have I gotten all my chances? Am I at my final destination? You know what I mean?
Do you think if you would have been depressed in New York, the big buildings would have bothered you as much?
I was depressed in New York, and
it made it worse.
I don't. You know, it made me say fuck it and go.
Right.
Do more stuff than I was comfortable doing. You know what I mean?
You handled that better than you did in Vegas.
Yeah, I think so.
I think.
And now when I'm in Louisville and Cincinnati and shit,
it's nothing, dude.
all.
It's like I had to drive down to Louisville early the other day, and driving into Louisville used to stress me out. And then I think about driving into Philly when there was traffic and construction and 7-lane highways. I've never been here before, and everybody in the car is playing the fucking
really
Always Sunny theme, screaming in my ear, dude, trying to get a video
into downtown Philly traffic. So.
That's what I'm saying. And now after doing that, when I was driving into Louisville the other day, I was like, hit Nashville, just put one hand on the wheel, get off on Jefferson, it's nothing, dude. And looking at the buildings too, because I'm not afraid or have any kind of phobia of buildings because I like big architecture. I loved looking at the buildings while we were in New York.
I do in pictures.
But when I was in Louisville the other day, I was almost kind of not impressed. not shitting on it. I'm just saying it's not a metropolis like New York is.
That's
when you've been seeing that,
even like
even
Philly,
even
after
since
seeing
he's
New
not,
York,
and Philly's not either. No,
it's
yeah,
like, damn, dude. There's no other. You'd have to go to China or Japan.
yeah.
To see
You have to go to Cincinnati. You'd have to be like right down by the Reds stadium or the Bengals stadium, and really like in the thick of it, and like you would just get like a taste of what New York's like. You know what
area,
I mean?
When we went to see Danzig and shit, we parked way up the street.
Yeah.
And walked down town and had to cross. That is similar vibes to like a block. You know what I'm saying? Like an area of New York. It's just like it's big. Cincinnati's big, and it's rated like one of the bigger cities in the United States and shit. But it's just the amount of buildings in one place. That's all. Manhattan is just so many tall buildings. The whole island is skyscrapers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It looks crazy. Have you seen some of these fucking Chinese cities, man? Like Beijing and shit right now?
Yeah.
And like, it's twice the size of New York City.
Well, you gotta build up because you can't build out, man. When you have to hold that many people in that small of a space to do that much work, you have to build up.
I read a book that really stuck with me. I can't remember what it was called, but I remember reading just like a random, like a couple 100-page sci-fi book in like probably middle school, where they built down. Dude went into the future, and there were no more skyscrapers, and everything was like very natural looking. You know, it was like all the plants were there, but there were like farms and shit. But yeah, everybody was underground, and they would build reverse pyramids basically down, so that the point was like down.
Wouldn't that be scarier though? You think?
Well, apparently, dude, it can be very stable in the right fucking places, in like a geologically dead area, and then it's fucking the same temperature year round.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's probably like fresh water sources underground and all that shit, and then you leave the surface for like farming, and you know, people would go on expeditions. You can go up there, you can stay on the surface, but all the major cities and shit are underground. Take up less room.
Is there anything you want to plug this episode, man? Anything you want to talk about before we wrap it up? Anything you we got a lot of shit going on. Anything you want to?
Yeah, let's see. What do we got coming up? This isn't gonna be out before Thursday, so first date in June 12th for his show.
Whirling Tiger, Louisville, Kentucky. Come on down, see me.
Down on Story Avenue.
Yep.
Check it out. I'm gonna be there. Come hang out. Then, you know, I don't have anything until July. I'm on the Pro-Am at Go Bananas July 2nd, and then Funniest Person
And I'm on June
Cincinnati.
25th, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Max Jensen's also on that one as well. So that'll be cool to see Max and hang out.
Yeah, Funniest Person in Cincinnati the 8th, and that's at Go Bananas, and then on the 10th at Commonwealth, he's performing in the Crosstown Comedy Festival.
Yes, I will be there July 10th.
Yeah, July, and we're also probably we'll have some stuff announced, but yeah, July is gonna be busy and August is gonna be busy. June will probably be our slow month while we gear up for everything, but we might have a show in June to tell you guys about. We'll see.
Yeah.
But come out to Joey's 2 dates.
Yeah.
For sure. I'll be there hanging out. I'll probably pop in the bucket at the Go Bananas or something. But we'll see how it goes. But I think that's all the dates.
And if you live in Cincinnati, check out Mall. They have a nice residency at the Comet every Tuesday, the month of June. They're playing with some really cool bands. Check them out. And then I'm sure we'll be popping in Chameleon, hitting that mic. So to all our Cincinnati friends. And then hopefully within the next few weeks, we'll start having guests on. Like I was saying last week, both the Charlies, Badger and Hall, we're going to have them on. We're going to get Max on an episode. We had a lot of shit planned. So
within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I just, I got to know my job schedule and stuff first. I'm waiting on my real estate license. I don't know how long it's going to take, so I'm going back to a factory until then. And once I get my work schedule, we'll have them on.
So, but yeah, we got a lot of shit to announce coming up. A lot of cool stuff we're doing. You guys are gonna love. So, stay tuned. Yeah, that's about it for me, man.
We love you guys.
We love
See you
y'all.
next
This
time.
place sucks.